All right, what is going on, guys? It's been a while since I made a video, but I just got version 14 in a Cybertruck today. Jenna actually got version 14 in the Model Y, but to be honest, I haven't been making a lot of videos because we just had like one of our biggest scaling periods ever when it comes to properties. And some of the properties didn't close in the schedule they were supposed to close, and so now we have a bunch of properties on top of each other that we need to get up and listed, and so it's like created like a bit of an executional challenge from what our normal schedule was. So point being is I've been tied up with that, and when I'm working, I'm head down, focused, not doing anything else but trying to execute on what I have in front of me. But version 14 in the Cybertruck, I'm really excited about this one. One thing that's also exciting is that like there's some features in the Cybertruck that are not in the Model Y, and I think version 14 gives us those. And I think like things like reverse. Like you didn't have reverse in the Cybertruck before, and I think we have reverse now. So I still have the screen pulled up over here. I don't know if you can really see it, but this is saying about version 14. I'm not going to read the version 14. I have a destination, so I'm just going to go ahead and type in Planet Fitness. Rosenberg, okay. So I just typed that in, okay. Now, Jenna has actually had some problems with her version 14 with really overreaction is the number one issue that she's having a problem with. So she's had an issue where like it yanked over really hard, and not only did it yank over to like avoid nothing, but when it yanked over, it disengaged FSD on its own. Like it just disengaged it, and because I think the wheel yank was enough of a yank that it thought that a human grabbed a hold of the wheel to disengage. So it disengaged in that way, which is pretty crazy. Secondly, just like yesterday, she was driving and going like 40 miles an hour, and it just slammed on the brakes all the way to 0. And there was like a dresser in the back. The dresser came up and took the rear view mirror off and everything like that. Now, again, I'm not talking against version 14. And I think the number one thing is version 14 is skittish right now. It's overreactive right now. And I think until they dial back some of the safety things, one, I think they need to correct some of the overreactiveness, right? They need to correct some of those things. However, you don't want to correct something if maybe that would have been a good scenario. Now, it's not good if it like, disengages itself from FSD, but sometimes, you need to be able to swerve around something immediately, because if not, it's going to be a collision, right? And so an aggressive swerve around is the proper action. So I think the big thing is it's seeing things that maybe are not necessarily there, or thinks something is there, like a shadow or whatever that may be. So I think there's some regression whenever it comes to version 13 to 14, when it comes to those types of things. But let's go ahead and just start the drive, and we can keep talking as we go along. So, by the way, I'm on like a ravine. So this driveway, this is one of our properties here. Actually, our favorite property, just a sidestep for real quick. Really small property, like 1,300 square feet. But the woods, you can't really see it, but you can kind of see it a little bit. But like, it's like, the property itself is only sitting on like 3/4 of an acre, but there's like 20 something acres behind it where it's completely wooded. You literally can't see anything behind it besides woods, and there's like trees this way and trees this way where like you can't really see any neighbors and stuff like that. So really cool property as far as its seclusion, and it's still in Evansville, Indiana. Like it's outside of town just slightly, but it's still considered Evansville, Indiana. That's how like close inside of town it is. And Evansville, Indiana, it's out on the west side. But yeah, let's go ahead and start this FSD. Again, this is like a ravine right here. So if this doesn't choose the proper thing to do, we might go. Start. Okay, I put it in reverse. Ooh, first time reversing in the Cybertruck. Ooh. Okay, there's some posts down here. It looks like it's gonna clear them. They're like 4x4 posts. You're not gonna be able to see them from the video. Ooh, there's a fire hydrant right there. Ooh, okay. It's a little bit more like, I don't want to say aggressive than I am, but it's more confident. Confident's the word for it. More confident. This road has a problem where it says 55 miles an hour. There's not really a speed limit on this road. Sometimes it registers at 30 miles an hour, and sometimes it registers at 55 miles an hour. So I don't know where it's getting its registration at. I will say though, it's pretty much never, I think, been done over like 35 miles an hour. And one thing I really like to see with version 13, right? We're in version 14 now, is I've never seen it go over like 35 miles an hour. So it's looking at the road and saying, hey, like, it might say be this speed limit right here, but like, I just don't feel that comfortable going that speed limit. You know, we just dropped down to 21 miles an hour around this corner. Now, for this type of neighborhood, we don't even really have aligned roads. There was a line in this road at one point in time, but it's like wore off. And from my experience with this road, I think that this road is like a 30-mile-per-hour road. Now, could the speed limit be higher? Yes. I just, you know, it's very residential, and there's also a ton of deer. There's like woods on both sides of this like neighborhood here. It's like a completely wooded neighborhood. Super cool place in Evansville. But you know, with that being said, like, you just need to be a little bit more cautious. Like at night, there was like 5 nights in a row where I seen deer on the road every single night. That's how like, you know, wooded this is, and how much like you know, like things you have to worry about, like for like deer and all that good stuff. So I'm just kind of watching out, trying to be a little bit cautious. Okay, we did a little bit of stutter stepping right there, but it wasn't bad at all. It didn't feel bad. It was just like a little bit of stutter step. Now, you know, people are saying about not having the min-max speed. I can see that being like a major issue, because like right now we're registering at 55 miles an hour. We're going 48, and we're staying pretty close to the car in front of us. But I'm pretty positive this road right here is also not 55 miles an hour. I think it's like maybe 45. But going 50 is fine. If it's 45 and we're going 50, that's fine. We have a car ahead of us. We're going at the same speed as them. The one other issue is, like, on some of these roads out here, there's like some schools and stuff. So like, you might approach a school zone, and you know, if it's not reading school zone signs appropriately and reducing the speed accordingly, then that could really cause some problems. So we're probably not gonna see much on this road here, obviously. Like, this is a pretty straight road. You know, if we're gonna see something here, it's gonna be like a brake slamming or something. It's gonna be, you know, or trying to swerve to avoid something. One thing I will say is, like, just my feeling from sitting in this car, I feel like it's really observed the car in front of us and really based its speed off of that quite a bit. Like, it just feels very naturally like, kind of like almost an adaptive cruise control, where it's like keeping a certain distance from that vehicle. Okay. I'm hoping we hit this corner up here. If we hit this corner up here, this is something from version 13 to version 14. I just want to see how it's going to react different. So basically, the Cybertruck has an issue with like cutting corners too hard. So like, it'll ride up on medians, and there's a curve up here. Some like road curves, it just like whips around it, and then even whips around it and goes into the wrong lane for like a few moments before it like recorrects itself and gets into the straight lane. Now, I've noticed if there's ever a car there, I let it do its thing. And if ever there's a car also coming around that corner, it doesn't do it. So it only does it whenever it's by itself and there's not another car like oncoming. Okay, so right here is going to be just your standard, you know, stop sign turn. This is an elevated hill kind of, and we are going to go around this curve. So I might have to be ready to grab a hold of the wheel. But again, I'm really excited to see this one, because this is one of the, like, I would say top 3 things on the Cybertruck's FSD that needs to be corrected. And it's like, there's like 2 things that are like the same thing, and it's 1, going around a curve, 2, just taking a left turn and hitting the median. Okay, so here we go. Around the curve we go. Ooh, it's looking good so far. It's looking really good so far. Woo! Look at that. Oh, it did it right. It did it perfectly. I almost want to go test it again. I might disengage FSD and go test it again. What do you think? Let's do it. Let's do it. We're gonna go test it again, because that's a major issue. where I would say like it kind of creates a safety concern. Like if ever it didn't see like a car coming around that corner, it would definitely crash into him, which I mean it always tends to see, but you just never know. Like, okay, let's see what. So we're gonna go back around this corner. Now again, I don't know why hitting it on a right turn, it never has the problem on a right turn on version 13. So this turn that we're about to make, where it's a right turn, again, there was never an issue with version 13. So let's just see how version 14 handles it. And then I'm gonna stop up here, I'm gonna turn around, I'm just gonna come right back to it again. Again, I just wanna see how it, you know, if it's gonna continually handle that curve. And, you know, I'll find out after days of driving it, but like since we have version 14 right now, I just wanna go through and test it and just see how it's gonna do. So I'm just gonna whip it around real quick. One thing I love about the Cybertruck, like I can just do like this, just whip it, man. Just whip it like a Miata. One of the coolest things about the Cybertruck, you can just whip it like a Miata. It's just so cool. Not having to do that. I almost wreck every time I drive like one of my Lincolns. I drive my Lincoln, I'm like, forget that I have to turn the steering wheel 20 times. It's got a turn signal on. I don't know why. We're going straight, according to GPS. Okay, so it shut off the turn signal and went straight. It might have been because I just engaged. Okay, we're hitting the curve right now. So let's see what we got here. Just gotta keep my hand over it. Again, I never had to intervene whenever I hit the corner before, but it would have been over there in that lane up until about like right here, and then it would get back over. So we just hit that curve a second time, and it hit it freaking perfectly. And I would say 80-90% of the time, it would jack up on that corner. Sometimes it would do it okay, sometimes. So there is still a plausibility that version 14 may not hit it correctly every time. But in version 13, like 90% of the time it messed up. So that was something that was like a pretty easy test, just to kind of definitively see if there's a problem or not, or if the problem's been corrected. Oh, there's another one up here. Yeah, I'm actually glad for this one. I don't know why this one does it too. It's not even really a curve. It's just a left-hand turn. I don't know if it's because of a visibility thing or what, but like a lot of times this left-hand turn up here, it does the same thing where it cuts into the left lane really hard. You know, and I haven't noticed the Cybertruck doing it in regular left turns a whole heck of a lot. However, I've noticed it in like small towns. Like I travel a lot for like the automation company and like just going to different manufacturing facilities and stuff like that. And so sometimes they take you out to like BFE out in the middle of nowhere. And so okay, I was gonna say I'm about to give it some gas because, you know, I like to give it the gas whenever it doesn't take off whenever I think it should. But it took off exactly whenever I was about to give it some gas. Oh, so in small towns, I noticed it takes that left turn and it will go into the wrong lane sometimes. It corrects itself pretty immediately always, but I've seen it do that a couple times. Okay, we have follow cars, so I highly doubt it's gonna do it now. Traffic's pretty high right now too, so I doubt we can even hit this corner without a follow car. I mean, there's like 3 or 4 cars behind me. We have these 2 cars in front of me. So right here, this corner right here is where it would like whip it a lot of times and just like whip it into this left lane. Again, it wouldn't do it if there was an oncoming traffic coming. It just whipped it in through here perfectly. So pretty satisfied with that. I'm curious to see how it's going to handle this one. So this generally is not a problem, but one thing it does try to do quite frequently is it tries to park back here in the back of the building instead of going all the way to the front and parking in the front of the building. So, but it kind of does that like 40% of the time. 40% of the time I'll go to the front, 60% of the time in the back maybe. Let's see what we got. So this will be the first time ever if the Cybertruck is going to go and park itself. So I'm pretty excited about that to see how well this part performs. Okay, we have a human right here. Let's see how this is gonna jack things up. He's got a bucket. He's hanging out. This guy's got a bucket, cleaning up the thing. He's like right behind us. He's like 2 foot away from the back of the vehicle right now. Okay, vehicle's inching forward. See what you can do, buddy. Oh, it just parked us. That wasn't very good. That wasn't very good. So, how can I get it to go back? So if I go here, drive, those down. So you can you see the lines? Maybe you can see the lines. That's how it parked us. I mean, that was pretty terrible. Which, this is something that I find very funny. And also, too, I understand the, like, neural net thing and all that good stuff. But I just don't understand why you can't switch from, like, one neural net to another. Like, why you can't, like, pass it off to, like, different agents. Like, you're a parking agent, right? I'm the highway driving agent. I'm the city driving agent, right? And these different ones are, like, better at something else. Because, like, for example, you see, like, do you see how this parked right here, where, like, we're in the lines like we are right now? Which these lines are not marked very well, but you can still see in the software thinks that it's not great. So let me make sure I can hit this guy. I don't know where he's at right now. Okay, here. Nope. That's what I was gonna try to do. So I just want to. So now I'm just using the park feature. So that's what I'm getting at. Right now I'm using this park feature, and I'm pretty sure this is gonna do pretty well. Right? It's been doing pretty well for quite some time now. And again, what I was talking about with the agents, if this thing can park extremely well, like look how good we're about to get in these lines. I mean, that's like spot on, right? Why can this park spot on, yet the, the other, let's call it the full neural net, is not parking appropriately. It's kind of just like giving up. It's not even giving it no second try to like reverse and go forward and stuff like that. Matter of fact, since we're here, this is gonna like really run up my time. I'm not gonna have really time to do anything. I'm gonna just type planet. Setting this guy. We'll go back to like the back of the building again, and then just drive up here again, and just see how. I just want to see again how it's gonna park. I'm just engage and just see how it handles all this. Oh, that is another feature that I'm really excited to see about. Instant engagement. So a lot of people on the Model Y, I've seen them, they're able to engage like immediately. The Cybertruck is really bad, and version 13 has been really bad about being able to engage FSD. Like when I jump in the car, I'm like, ding, 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 ding. It's like dinging back at me that it's not ready. It's not ready. It's not ready. And so like it's kind of annoying in the Cybertruck. So I'd really like to see that be something that's fixed. And it seems like it. I just engaged it, and it like engaged pretty quickly. So okay, we're going back to the exact same parking spot. I think it's in parked shitty again. Don't just give up on me, man. Pull through or something. Get some park right there. They parked like crap again. I gotta put it in drive. So you can see, like, all up in this business right here. Also, is really interesting that it chose this exact same spot again. So it's like, why did it make that decision? Is it because it just chooses like what it thinks is the fastest thing to do? Another thing that it might not be able to do in the software, which I don't like, is like being able to cross over a parking spot like that. So if you just seen there, I crossed over a parking spot. I don't know that FSD crosses over parking spots. I think it should be able to. I think like technically you're not supposed to, like ever, like a human driver's not supposed to do that. But you know, hey, it is what it is. Yeah, again, I think it's pretty interesting that it parked there again. So yeah, I'll update you guys as I drive again. I have somewhere else I have to go after I leave here. So after I leave the gym, so I'm gonna give me like a quick little pump real quick, and then I'll probably record another video of this next drive. Alrighty. Catch y'all on the next one. Let me know if you've experienced version 14 and what you think about it. Peace.